So over here we have ultramarine blue. Transparent red oxide. Squeeze a little bit more in there. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't slide off. Transparent red oxide. And this is French umber. That is like raw umber. Well, it is raw umber. Okay, next is, and this is Blue Ridge Yellow Ochre. And I'm going to place that right over there. And that is yellow ochre, basically. It's from Blue Ridge area. That's where it's from. And I'm going to go with some chrome ochre. This is an absolute awesome color. It's a combination of chrome yellow and yellow ochre. It's quite light too. It's really nice. It's like a muted yellow, which is really nice. This is chrome yellow light. Okay, so I'm going to go and squeeze some on here. And that is chrome yellow light. And then I'm going to go and add in some alizarin. What I should have added it already, but I'm going to just add this right over here. Alizarin. Actually, maybe not. Maybe I'll add this here. There you go. Alizarin crimson. Okay, so there we go. So next, well, the first thing I'm going to do is go and, I need to add some white. I'm just going to go and add the white here on the side. So I added in the titanium white. It's right over there. I'll just move this back a bit so you can see it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to rub on, this is a solvent-free Italian varnish that's made by Rublev. Basically, it's black oil. It's a fast-drying medium. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and rub this onto my canvas. And then I'm going to paint into that oil. So I'm going to go and add my medium right over here. And I'm just put the lid back on. It's basically got wax in it, a type of wax, and black oil. And this makes it into like a gel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, all of this here, and I'm going to go and rub it onto my canvas. I just have to come in from this angle. I'm just going to go and paint it. Just do all the background first, because I'm going to start painting the background. Actually, I'm just going to go over the whole thing. I'll grab all that oil. And you don't want to put too much on. You don't want it to be slick. Oops, looks like I picked up some of that red, but that's okay. Just come and rub it on. And take, where is that sponge? Take the sponge. Looks like a makeup sponge. And then you can just come and rub that oil all over your canvas. And that just really helps. Oops, I'm a little close to that red. And that's okay. And it will help for the oil paint to spread nicely on your canvas. But if you have too much, it's going to be too slick and slippery and it's going to be impossible. Just make sure you wipe off as much as you can. Let me even see if I can take some off with this. You just do not want too much. Okay, so there you go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and paint the background. So I'm going to pick up my palette knife and I'm going to go and mix that color. So it looks to me, I'm going to pick up some of the white. I'm going to pick up a little bit more and I'm going to come and mix up that background color. I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow ochre. And it kind of looks like it's grayed a little bit. So I'm going to pick up this raw umber. Raw umber will gray your colors. So that looks like it's more like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my brush. I'm using the Rosemary & Co. Ultimate Long Flat number 4. And I'm going to go and place this white right over here. There we go. Oh, I really like this brush. Okay. What I really like about it is it's firm. And then we're going to come and place that highlight right over here. Lighter light. And then across this way. I'll pick up some more white. Just going to make it slightly wider. So basically I'm just using straight white. And now I'm going to go and pick up some of this yellow. I'm going to place this right over here. I'm going to go a little lighter actually, so I'm going to go and add more white into that. And then just place that right in there. Add a little bit more white. And then I'm going to go and add Just the teeniest bit of transparent red oxide, like I'm barely picking any up because it's got such a strong tint and I don't want it to be too orange. So just add your colors in very gradually. There you go. And I just want to come into this corner here and add a bit of a more of a shadowed color. It's a little bit more chromatic, and I'm just going to come here and add in a little bit more raw umber into that. Bring it right here. I want some of that chroma in there. Chroma is how bright a color is. I'm gonna go like this. And then let's just place that in there. Basically a bit of a shadow. And no straight edges, there's no lines or anything like that. You just have to make it look like it's sort of atmospheric. And we'll just add this in. And then just blend that in so it's just nice and light. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll bring some of that color here and then place it right here. So the gray underneath will sort of blend in there. And then you can go and add some of that white in there. Pick up some more white. And come right over here. To about there. Here we go. Just add some more in here. And I'm going to pick up another brush. It's too small. I'm just going to fill that in. Just want to blend that light in there so it feels hazy. Okay, so I'm just going to come here and add some of this in. Place this right here. And we'll get the lighter colored brush and then place this here. And then we'll take this and then just go under there. Add a little bit more raw umber. That grays your paint. And then come in here and then let's paint this in here. Let's add more raw umber because it's a little bit less chromatic there. And then we'll just go and paint that in. Take more umber and put that in there. And just darken that a little bit more. I'm using my other brush that has the lighter paint on it. I'll come and do some blending. I'll just take the smaller brush and just come and free up the stem here. Basically, I'm just moving the paint off it. There we go. Now I want to come here and just add some color behind here. I'll just come and blend all this. You can just go right between those two colors and blend it like that. And I can even blend it, make it a little softer. Just so you can't really see a line there. Okay, that looks about right to me. I think I might want to bring this out a little further. There we go. And then I'll go and put that shadow in there. It looks to me like it's got quite a bit of raw umber in it. And place that shadow right here. And then take your other brush and just come between those two colors and just, you know, blend them together like that. Because you want it to look hazy. You don't want any strong lines at all. You just want it to be really hazy. There you go. So now I just got to go and fill in this area here. Just come like this with some transparent red oxide and some raw umber. We make that sort of color over there. It's shadowed color. Let's fill this in. Okay, there we go. And now you get your other brush and you come right between those two. And just fuse those edges together. Like that. And then you get your darker brush. Just come and blend right into that. There we go. So now we'll go and paint that cloth. Just want to come and fix this here. There we go. And now I want to go and paint that cloth. So it looks to me like there's a bit of an orangey color. I'm just going to use the same brush. I'm just going to go and I'm going to come here and I'm going to basically take my paper towel like this and just squeeze the paint out of your brush. Just squeeze as much as you can out of your brush, like that. So now I want to go and paint the edge of that cloth, and it kind of looks like it's sort of a yellowy, reddish color, an orangey color. And I'll just go and add some white into that. I'm going to place this right along the edge of this cloth. And then along this edge here. Here. Okay. Now grab your lighter brush. I'm going to come here And just mix in just a teeny little dash of yellow. So tiny it must be barely changed the color of that white. And then I'm going to come here along here, paint in that lighter part of the cloth. And I'll just come up here and over here. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of raw umber, just a grade ever so slightly. And I'm going to come and paint this area in here. Oops. I'm going to come and do the same here. I'm going to get my another brush. And I have this one here. This is a filbert, number 4. And I'm going to go and pick up some of this. And I'm going to come and paint this in here. Oh, these brushes are just fantastic. I love how it lays down paint so easily. It's great. We'll go and work on the texture of the cloth afterwards. I just want to get these main colors in here. And let's do the same here. Add a little bit of that raw umber here. And it's got a teeny bit of the color in there. And I'm going to place that right in the shadow. There we go. Then we come here between those two colors and just fuse them together like that. And there's some more gray color there and more here. Okay. So just come along here, just bring some of that white down there. And then I'll do the same thing here. Let's just fuse those edges together. And then we'll take some of this lighter paint. Just bring in some of those shapes in there that you see of the cloth. And then we'll add some of that shadow color in there too. Pick some of this up. And add some of this here. And then we got that same shadow color with a little bit of color there. And we'll place this right under here. And then place that shadow color there. And pull that across there. And then we'll add some of this color right over here. And then take some of this, bring this across here, and then just fuse that right in there. And we're going to just go and add a bit of a darker shadow color. Take some of this. And we'll do that again. Take a bit of this, some blue, maybe some transparent red oxide. Make a nice dark color there. And we're going to place this right here. And then we'll take this brush, the filbert, and just come and fuse those edges together. And then just soften that edge over there. Oops. I'm just going to go and grab a different brush. This is the classic, and this is a number 2, I think. And I'm going to come pick up some of this and this. I'm going to place that shadow back where it's supposed to be. There we go. And we'll just pull this out a little bit over here. And then I'll just come here and just soften those edges. Okay, good enough. So now we have that there. Now we're going to keep moving down. So I'm just going to come and move the camera a little further down here. I'm not going to be able to see all those colors, but let me see if I can do this now. Okay, so there we go. So I think I might just pull this back a bit so you can see it more. There you go. Make sure that is set. Okay, so now I'm going to start painting in the cutting board. So I just want to move my image a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go and create that color for the cutting board. So it looks to me, I'm going to grab some transparent red oxide, put it right in there, and pick up some white, some yellow, more white. I'm getting closer, and then I'm going to add some raw umber in there just to mute that color a little bit. Okay, so it looks like I've got the lighter area color, so I'm just going to go and add a little bit more of this and a little bit more white. Might need to go lighter than that, but let's just take a look and see what that looks like. I need to make that a little bit more yellow. Oops. Raw umber. And then I'm going to add more white. More raw umber because it's more grayed. Oh, there we go. I think we're doing a little bit better now. I think more gray. There we go. It's going to go and add more white maybe. I think we're right on the money there. A little bit more grayed actually. I'm going to take that back a little bit more so you can see the bottom of the canvas. I'm just going to lower it slightly like this. There you go. I'm going to bring it a little closer. There we go. Now I'm just going to go and move my image. There we go. So now I'm going to just come and paint in the rest of this cutting board. And I'm going to go and add more raw umber into that. Pick up some of that color and I'm going to place it right over here. Pick up some of this lighter color and place it behind the pear. So there you go. And then we'll just blend that shadow here. Now I want to go and place some of this shadow right over here. So we're going to pick up more raw umber, place that there. Pick up some more transparent red oxide. So we want to make it much darker, but still chromatic. It's got a bit of yellow in there too. And let's try it out and see what that looks like. That looks about right. We'll just go and place that in there. So now we'll grab a brush and then we're just going to fuse these two colors together. And then we'll come here, do the same here. Fuse these colors together. I can take this again and bring this here. It's going to go still darker, but I'm pretty happy with what I got going there. Let's just add a little bit more yellow. A little bit more red actually too. And then once it's dry, we'll be able to go and finalize all these shadows and stuff. But I just want to get that in there. Of course, that shadow is going to be much darker, so I'm just going to grab this other brush. I'm going to come pick up a little bit of blue and transparent red oxide. And I'm going to place it right directly under the pear. And then I'm going to get my other brush. I'm just going to come and drag that color away from the pear. And then we'll go and finalize that shadow when the painting is dry, because it'll be easier. But right now, what I want to do is, actually I just want to go and darken that shadow slightly here. There we go. You just have to be very gentle, use a very light feather touch. Oil paint is very slippery. It's not the easiest medium to use, but I'm going to come here and pick up some of this shadow color with a bit of the raw umber and the blue. I'm going to place this right over here. And here. And there we go. And then we'll come and add a little bit of that yellow color. And then just paint that right across there. And then I'm going to add that shadow in there. I'll just add some of that texture in there. And then what I noticed, there's a little bit of texture right in here too. So I'm just going to go and add that right in there. Right over here. And then across here somewhere is lots of that lighter color. Doesn't matter if you don't do it perfectly as you see it, but it's kind of got a little bit of texture in there. So you can just do that. And then I'll come and add some of this across here. We'll go and glaze that board afterwards, but I just want to go and place in all that texture, and then we can go and glaze it when it's dry. Trying to keep your lines believable, straight, and you want it to look believable, right? These brushes are fantastic. They really are. I really, really like these. I love that they're so firm. I'm just going to gray this slightly over here. Just so it's not so chromatic. Okay, and then I'm just going to go and add in some lines here. So it's got a bit of a shadow right here. Right there. And more of that shadow color in there. Of course, we'll be able to do that again when it's dry. It'll be so much easier because right now there's a lot of paint on there. So I just want to move this line slightly this way. There we go, that makes more sense. And we're going to grab those lines there. Just put some texture in the wood here. Give it the feeling of that wood. Okay, so now we got more of that wood texture in there, and I'm going to add a little bit more. And right over here. Okay, and now we can start painting in color. So I'm going to paint that pear. I'm just going to go and grab a brush. And I'm going to start with let's go and mix up some. I'm just going to move this back a bit so you can see what I'm doing. I think what I'll do is move some of this color out the way. Okay. And this is by Rosemary & Co. It's a palette knife. And I'm just going to clean that off some more. And I want to go and mix up the pear colors. So let's see. Let's go and pick up some red. Actually, let's grab some of this yellow here. Place that there. That pretty much looks like that one side of the pear is right there. That color is like almost perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up just a tiny bit of raw umber and I'm going to gray it ever so slightly. And I'm actually going to pick up some, maybe a teeny dash of transparent red oxide just to change that color ever so slightly. It's not quite yellow, it's got a bit of that orangey color in it. Maybe I put too much there, but we'll see. I can always add more. And let's go and see what that looks like. Okay, it looks a little closer. Now let's go and pick up some of that yellow and paint the pear. And a little bit of red in there. And then let's place that in there. Okay, I find this brush a little on the large side, so I'm just going to go and clean off one of my other brushes, and I find it just a little too big. So I'm going to pick up some of this red. I'm going to place it right in here. I want to just test it, and it looks like I'm right on it. Pick up some more alizarin. Mix it up with more of the yellow. It mutes it really beautifully. And then place that color right in there. Maybe add a little bit of raw umber in there just to mute it slightly. Pick that up and just blend that into that yellow. There we go. And now let's head further down. Let's just take some of this and then pick up some of that raw umber. And then come here and paint that in there. Raw umber. We'll go and add that shadow in and make it a little darker later. And I just want to see something here quickly. Add some of that yellow, some of the red. More yellow. And then come here. Make that darker. Maybe even darker. Okay, I'm going to pick up some more red, some more yellow, and I want to just continue to place in this shadow color right over here. Okay, and now we're going to go and add in that lighter color. This here, I'm just going to grab some of this red. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this here. Pick up some of this yellow, just to make that beautiful orangey color that I see on that side. More of that. And let's come here and place that in there. It's a little too chromatic, but that's okay, we'll fix it. We'll go and add in a little bit of white into that orange. And place it right over here. More white. And come on this side. Maybe add some of that yellow in there. A little bit more white. A little bit more yellow. And then we'll go and add that highlight in afterwards. And I just want to grab some more of this here and just place it on this edge. More of this red. Grab more white. Make a pinky color. And place this here. And make it lighter. And then pick up some of that pink. And now we're going to go make that pinky color super light. Really, really light. Like that. I'm going to come on the side and place that light right there. And follow the shape of the pear. There we go. Then we're going to just blend some of these edges together. Just fuse them a little bit. And then once this pear is dry, it's going to be easier to finish it. So you just want to go and fuse those edges so you have no hard edges. And that looks to me like we're pretty close. So I'm going to come here and pick up this color here. I'm going to place it right here. So that's basically it there. And now we're going to go and place in a highlight just on that right edge of that. And pick up some of this lighter color. And I'm going to come right on this edge and place in that highlight. Oops. I just placed it on the wrong spot. That's okay. I can always fix that later. Just move that over to there. And I can go and paint in that shadow. You don't want your shadow, the dark, to be like super black dark. And then let's just move this over that shape over there like that. Okay. And I want to get this color here, that shadow color right here. And then when it's dry, we'll go and place in that super light highlight. And I just want to go and fuse a few edges here. I'm going to take my paintbrush with the whites on it. Just come here and just fuse these edges. And so we're going to leave that until our next painting session, because then I can actually go and start making the pear look a little bit more realistic. So that's a good start. And we are there.